Hello everybody. Welcome to this segment of AKT Celebrity Reads. I'm your host, Alexis K. Tyler, and I want to wish you happy Father's Day, happy solar solstice. We're in the Cancer eclipse, Cancer eclipse, summer solstice, new moon. Happy Father's Day. We're on Father's Day. Hey, Rashana. Hey, Will Howard. Thank you for the hearts. I love the hearts. As you all can see, I didn't want to tell you I was coming, but you know I was coming soon. Working on a new video. This is going to be part one. It's very late. As you can see, I've been working all weekend. I've been giving offerings to the ancestors, putting food on their altar, putting food on my father's altar, putting food on NIPSEY's altar. Couldn't miss me. I haven't been anywhere. I'm on Facebook every day. I've been working every day. I've been showing videos of what I've been doing, and this has been such a very heavy, intense week with all the energy and all the entities. I think Mercury's in retrograde. Several of the planets are going into retrograde, and I've been looking at astronomy and astrology. I think right now we're dealing with the red planet. That's what NIPSEY and the Spirit said to me. We're dealing with the red planet. We're dealing with that be Mars, and Mars is getting ready to go into Aries for 6 months. So we're dealing with Mars, which is what the war planet, the war god, but then it's going into Aries, which is the symbol for Aries is what the ram, the goat, which means more battle, more conflict. Thank you, Nay. Thank you, Sydney. More war, more fighting, more death, more disease. I'm going to get into what I can because I know my phone, I had to wait till the charge up. It's already like 2:30 here. So this is not going to be a full reading. This is going to be part one because NIPSEY wanted me to speak to you. But, you know, I have to honor them first. I have to give them what they're asking for. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you, beautiful. And I'm going to try to get into some of it. And I'm going to mention something else about a continuation, mention some other things that I was saying in the, I think the last reading about enemies in common, Queen of Fua. I'm going to add to that, and I was talking about polite. Thank you, Nene. You want to see it? I guess I'll briefly show it to you. I hope you like it as much as I do. As you see, it's like red sequins. I like that. It's like a bright red. Yeah, isn't that pretty? They're pants. They're pants. Yeah. So, I want to show you that. See, I put NIPSEY's food there with the Egyptian god. Yeah, he has an altar. I set his things. I don't know if you all saw the video I did for him and the pictures that I took. Hey, Gingy. Thank you, beautiful. I took some pictures and I uploaded the video to Facebook. And then I uploaded the video to YouTube so that you can see. I put the pictures up too for my father's dessert because, you know, the other day I gave them dinner. And, yeah, he's got a candle. Got a blue candle there. He has this gold candle burning, and he has his two blues right here. So my father, I gave both of them dinner, and I had to put the plates out for you people that don't understand that. Luckily, I have a lot of spiritual people, a lot of psychics on here. I have Ifa priest, you know, voodoo priest, on the page, and I was fortunate, thank you, Ginger, to get a reading from one yesterday to make sure I had not done anything wrong. I had not offended the Orisha. And she said right now, Obatala, we're dealing with Obatala, and, you know, that I had honored him, which would be on the Ogungun altar. Those who have made the transition from the body has died, but they're still alive and their soul and their essence is still speaking. And she said I had not done anything wrong. to Nipsey or to my father for placing the food that they asked for. It was specific. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you, Matur. I gave them what they asked for specifically. So the day they said, because they had had their dinners, my daddy had the barbecue, he wanted the barbecue, Nipsey wanted the burnt tip brisket, which is, oh God, divine. I ate with both of them, and then they said, well, today they wanted drinks, and they wanted dessert. So my father told me what he wanted, and Nipsey told me what he wanted. And so today I gave them dessert, and that's what you do. Because some lady I knew, she didn't understand. She didn't mean any harm. She's from California. She loves Nipsey. And she said, girl, you can't eat all that food. And I said, oh, no. I can't touch that food. Once I make them what they specifically asked for, and I put it on their altar, it's disrespectful. It doesn't belong to me. It's their food. I cannot touch their food. The food stays there until they consume the essence out of it. So for you all that don't understand, I cannot eat their food. I had my own food. I had a separate plate and I ate with them. And I enjoyed spending time because I could feel both of them in here. And it's a very intense energy, so I was very tired. I said, I'm not going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to do it in the energy because the eclipse was yesterday. I think the summer solstice was yesterday on the 20th. Today's Father's Day, so I'm going to go into Monday doing it instead of waiting till Monday night because the energy is so intense, and Nipsey wanted me to speak to you, especially people from California. He wanted me to speak to California. He's very troubled by that. So the other plates, they started to degrade pretty fast. And I've kept the air on in here. I didn't want it to get hot. But I was upstairs and I started to smell the plates. And when I came downstairs, I looked at Nipsey's, the first one that I gave him. It was like drawed up and mold was everywhere. And then I looked at my father's last night, like later when I made his dessert. I made his dessert maybe 3-something this morning, posted, took the picture to post. And my father's was more dried, like the meat started to shrink and tighten up, and it started to mold. It was like a lot of green mold. So I said, okay. And then the Ifa priestess, she told me, she said 3. And Ifa dealing with 3 days. It's good. She says it's been 3 days. So yesterday was like 3 days. Might have been a little bit more. And she said, no, you can take it outside. So I didn't throw it into the trash when she called me back, because it was a pretty long reading. And she told me what the Orisha said. And she said, no, you're in order. You can put it outside. Thank you, Ginger. I'd be forgetting to put my Cash App, PayPal. Thank you, everybody. Please donate. And I appreciate the ones that have, and to support me with the product line and give me a lot of good feedback on the hair care, the Nipsey Blue and Gold jar with the 24K gold, caviar and mink cream. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've been thinking about him all day, and of course I thought about him because I said, well, I was going to get ready to go do the show, and he said, I want my dessert first. So my dad started asking for his last night, and I was like, okay, Daddy, before I lay down, and he wanted like cherries, he wanted red velvet, and Nipsey wanted blueberries. So I put the red velvet, wasn't it just gorgeous? And he said it was okay for me to put the edible 24 karat gold paper, the sheets on his food, decorative. And because, you know, they take the essence from it. And gold is beautiful for healing, inflammation, raising the frequency, the money frequency, the vibrational frequency, especially if somebody's been hurt, tortured, tormented the way my father died and had his records and money stolen. So that's the type of energy you want to put on someone that's went through that. Thank you, Tasha. And, of course, Nipsey went through that, but he's younger than my father. My father's been over there longer, so he requires more energy because he said he's still dealing with a lot of psychic attacks and people trying to control him, own him, manipulate him, and don't want him to talk to me. Don't want him speaking to people that he speaks to give information to. So he needs a lot of help. Hey, Demetrius. So of course, I would never do a thank you. I got to get my daddy some Chivas. I got to get him that because he wants a liquor. He does like, from what he told me, my dad likes brown liquor. Nipsey likes brown liquor, and they both like champagne. They both are very similar in a lot of ways, so it's easy to feed one and the other. The only thing difference is they might ask for a different color of fruit But they both wanted dessert today, and there's another dessert my father likes that I'll probably give to him in a few days. But they both like brown liquor. They're both very elegant men, very handsome men, created their own niche in entertainment, singing, dance, had their own audience, touched the world. My father's a legend in his own right. So, of course, and Nipsey's a younger legend, just starting off, but already created so much change in the world, created so much change in California. So I did not put them on the same altar. They, of course, because I had to respect them both individually, because their energies are so strong and so intense, and they refuse to be silenced. They kept trying to, hi Sandra, find someone to hear them and see them. And so my father has his Ogungun altar. Nipsey has his Ogungun altar. And they both get along. It's not that they didn't want to be on the same altar. I just didn't think it was appropriate because they're both legends in their own right. And so I hear both of them. They share some things. They have no problem sharing with each other and some of the other spirits too on the altars. So I think it's important, and I asked the Ifa priestess. I'm not sure. I might have asked her. I think I got to ask her if she comes back and listens to this. I'd like to hear her feedback. I wonder, do some spirits not like each other or not like to be on the same altar, even if they're blood relatives? Should I, watch that? Like, especially if they didn't get along in life, in the physical life, would they not get along on the other? Sometimes they do resolve things, but that's not the case with my father and Nipsey. They don't dislike each other. They respect each other. I just felt like it was appropriate to have them with their separate space. And I felt, and I feel right now, I'm telling you, very comfortable with respecting both of them and giving them, because their energies are so big. Even though, Nipsey's so much younger than my father, his energy's so big. He refuses to be silenced, squashed, eliminated. He's going to say what he wants to say. He's going to move the way he wants to move. And that's the same thing about my father. That's one reason why he was killed. Because he did not want to conform, and he wanted out of the deals. They wouldn't let him out. It was blood in and the blood out set up, similar to Nipsey. A lot of things that they have in common, as well as Sam Cooke, Otis Redding, Michael Jackson, so many of the greats. That's how they fell, not of natural causes, but because of the contracts and the oaths they took. Even if they didn't directly take it, you're still indirectly still affected by the demonic entities because you sign it. Hi, Bobby. Hi, my brother. Hi, my beautiful brother. Yes, Sabrina, they're bigger than life personalities. And I think Nipsey is a legend and will be around a long time and get bigger and anchored stronger, just like my father. And so it was an honor to do that for them. But Nipsey said he still wanted me to speak. He gave me a blend I'm working on now. He calls it the California blend. So it makes me think about the song California Dreaming and California Love. So for California, this is especially for you. This is, so y'all do not take it personally, because everybody can use it. I can use it. I have to use it, like he told me. Yes, both of them had a lot of work here. That's why they refused to leave, and they were murdered. So when somebody, and my father was young. My father was in his 40s. And Nipsey, of course, was a young man. And so when you're murdered, somebody takes your life and they're able to align themselves spiritually and psychically and do that on a demonic contract. They don't walk away, and I don't blame them. If it was me, I wouldn't walk away, and I had children and unfinished business. And that's what the Ifa priestess was telling me. They can stay, they do stay, and they do work through things and get the answers. And resolve the problems, and deal with the people involved in murdering them and taking their life prematurely. It's okay for them to do that. And once they do what they want to, and they're concerned about their children, and they speak to their children or whoever killed them, who was responsible for it, and they're ready to go, they can go. But if they're not ready to, they have the right to stay here and deal with the issues around their premature death, where their life was taken by another, and jealousy. Hi, Michelle. And so as long as, he needs me, and I'm honored to be one of the ones to pass his messages, that's what it's going to be. That's what I'm going to do. So, yeah, I am cripping and dripping in this bitch. The dirty South meets LA. I represent that King Loke. Goddamn King Nip. Queen Drip in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I'm so honored to do it and to be here. And I guess, I don't know, maybe I should get into that first before I get into the tarot reading, because he brought this up and he said, he's been looking at this on a deeper level about war and conflict underground. Like I told you all a month or so ago, when he saw the war and the conflict in the army underground, fighting ETs, fighting extraterrestrials, he said they were up with NASA, with Lucifer. Lucifer came in here, but the other side, I would say Satan. Satan, or Set, also the Egyptian god S-E-T-H, or S-E-T, Set, which is also known as Satan, has been hanging with me a few days, and I told him I want him to stay and to speak with me, because he said he has a very strong hold in California. He's in California starting war and conflict, and you know what? He said that it's allowed for him to do it, and he gave me the scripture. He gave me the story of Job. He said him and God have an agreement, and he is allowed right now to walk to and fro in the earth looking for a soul to test. He said he is dealing with the Son of God, which would be the melanin man that is now orbited back around, come back into the earth, the Son of God, and also the melanin man that is the son of man, the one that is trapped in the Adamic nature, the one that has come from the earth made of dirt, that will physically die from the death curse and go back to the earth and disintegrate and turn into soil, red clay, just like the earth. The ones that were created in the garden, the second creation, possibly said there was a third creation of so-called human being, human, but all humans that were created by the scientists that are under Satan, which the other side of him is Lucifer. That's what they're up at NASA doing up in space, dealing with the Lucifer star, the illuminated one, the entertainer, the singer, the god of music, the god of medicine, the bright and morning star. That's the way God created him in the biblical text, who would also be an Egyptian text known as Set, who has a problem with Osiris, also Horus, and a problem with Haru. So here's a problem. He's the other side of Osar and Haru. Haru would represent the Son of God, which would also represent the human. Satan said he's in space dealing with the stars and the planets, and also Starlink or Starnet is up there sticking more satellites up there for the 5G, and also to get ready for the brain mapping to connect your brain to the computer, because Lucifer said this is the time. Satan said this is the time. Satan is over NASA. A lot of the people that run NASA are Satanists, or are Luciferians. They honor the bright and the morning star. And he said he's getting a new star. It's like a red star. He said also attached to the red planet. Then Tukey came up again, Tukey Williams, and Tukey said this goes back into Arnold Schwarzenegger dealing with the Terminator, terminating, moving through time, moving through space, dealing with extraterrestrial technology to move into space to kill people like Tukey and NIPSEY, to stop the resurrection of the Son of God and keep him reduced to the Son of man, so that his life in the physical is temporary, so he can never transcend the physical Son of man to become the Son of God. Instead of being the human to ascend, he will just be a human, Human, not knowing who he is, not knowing the planet of the apes is also representing the monkey god, which would be the African and the Asian god who knows all past, present, and future. He said that's what they're doing in space. He showed me doors to planets that we don't know about and wormholes in planets dealing with the Milky Way. And he showed me ETs and even Nibiru, which is hidden and they don't want you to know about it. These ETs like a door on the planet, the hidden part coming in and out of it. And the people that work for NASA are doing deals with the ETs that are also satanic to make another deal to do more human sacrifice and to go through the time portal and to go backwards in the time portal to take you where? Back to the goddamn 50s and 60s. Deal with MLK, Malcolm, Nixon, before you get to the 70s, dealing with Carter, also dealing with Russia and Sputnik. You need to go back. I can't do it right now. I'll come back in part 2. Look at NASA during the 50s and the 60s when segregation was going on and a lot of lynching and open racism and how so-called black people were bound and oppressed during that period. When I saw the mayor of Atlanta with TIP, Tip Police Hotline, T.I. standing there with Mike Jones. Those are older men standing on each side of the mayor, and behind the mayor was the symbol of the phoenix that represents Atlanta/Atlantis, the resurrection of Atlantis. But instead of resurrecting Atlantis and Lemuria and Egypt to elevate the people, they're going to use it. It's a demonic resurrection, and it's being allowed. A satanic resurrection to take people backwards in time, put them in a time capsule to move backwards instead of moving forward. When you put those two at their age there, that told me that represents the old South, what the old South used to be. And also tying it into space and technology, because you can look back again at the 50s and 60s and see who was leading in space technology, the U.S. or Russia. This also ties into Russia, again, China, and USA. You hear me? Russia, China, and USA, and over there in the Middle East. Iran, Iraq, you're dealing with something getting ready to go on over there. I have to come back later on. Yes, history is only repeating itself because you don't know these people can travel back and forth in time. They deal with extraterrestrials to give them the knowledge on how to do that because they want to do that to secure the planet. One thing NIPSEY told me about that they doing out in LA, he showed me his Grammy. I don't know if they discussing his Grammy or something else or music or something they trying to do around the Grammy. I don't know if they trying to take Victory Lap off the market or something. I don't know what's going on, but he showed me the Grammy. And then NIPSEY takes me to Egypt and tells me PTAH. PTAH is the God, a creator. And the symbol of the Grammy and the Oscar is PTAH. The way he told me. PTAH, the Egyptian god PTAH. He said right now they are doing a PTAH satanic ritual. Also tied to his Grammy. He said, and look at, he showed it to me. PTAH show up in several ways. Hanging strange fruit from a tree. The man ain't moving. He's standing there, head with arms straight down like the fucking Grammy or goddamn Oscar. He said body bag. When you have a body killed, hung, drop it down, they put it in a body bag, zip it up, seal it up. It looked like what? PTAH. What he said, chalk, you draw somebody out in that white chalk, lift them up there, what that looked like? PTAH. Hands down to the side like a damn statue. He said, this is a ritual when they have done hangings of people. When they burn black people, open a fire, throw them on the fire, and let them burn outside and have taken pictures with their children to celebrate it. He said that is feeding the beast. That is a human sacrifice ritual for power and knowledge and to dominate astronomy and astrology and a numerology based on the almanac and the moon, the sun, and the season. But you go by the moon when you do that type of killing that's associated with PTAH. He said gonna be more hanging. Because they feel that they losing power and that's the way that you do it. And he say he don't like how these black people out there is keeping up shit out there in the street, marching, protesting with no organization. He said most people, he said that somebody is out there in them group spraying shit that look like a chemical that's on a chemtrail in the sky. So a lot of people gonna come up sick and fucked up. Because they have no weapons, they have no technology, they have no militia, they have no military, they have no water, no food source, no clothes source, no way to protect the children, and they not their own medicine, hospital, immunization. They are not structured, and I don't know if you know it because I saw it on Tanique Reviews. Shout out to Tanique Reviews. They are killing the organizer over this Black Lives Movement. They killed this African black girl the other day. If they get to talking to people in the Black Lives Matter movement and acting like they want to be a part of their ask who the organizer is, you tell them the organizers are not protected. The organizers come up dead, missing and dead. He said instead of doing this where it's going to create more chaos, confusion, and death for the people of color, which is a part of the human sacrifice. They're trying to sacrifice to Satan. That's what he said. They're trying to sacrifice to him. Now, if you go back, you look at my reading when I said NIPSEY took me on the astral and let me see that pre-Grammy of them killing, doing the demonic ritual in the Catholic Church, killing, send that demon up there to jump up there in that helicopter and kill Kobe ass. He said it was death season. They were out with the old, in with the new. They had dug grave. Name was on the goddamn grave. I said that in January. Now, January, goddamn January. And you see a lot of celebrities since January have come up dead. Celebrities and athletes. Celebrity athletes, celebrity entertainers, and rappers. And this is being allowed because he say the Son of God refuses to rise up and become the Son of God and get stuck in the same shit, and that we shall overcome shit and protest and shit from the 50s and goddamn 60s and refuse to be the Son of God and instead is the Son of Man, and the Son of Man will do what? Be just like that goddamn statue that look like PTAH laid out, DOA, shot or hung on their goddamn spot, because that is a part of the old ritual during the old days that is now repeating itself because those people are putting themselves in that energy. He said they have turned their face away from God. They refuse to call their ancestors out there in California. And the ancestors are very upset, especially Queen Khalifa. She wants to be called. She wants to be acknowledged. Said that y'all are not doing spiritual baths, spiritual ritual. You're not dealing with your seals. You're not honoring your ancestors. You're not calling them for protection and help and strategy, direction and instruction. You just jumping out there. Thank you. Grammy season equal death season. But for some reason, he's showing me the Grammy and the Egyptian god PTAH. So even though I think we're past Grammy season, are we? I don't know what award season is coming up. But he is saying they are in the ritual right now. Satan is saying this is what I do. That's what I like to do. That's what I'm doing right goddamn now. He said not just white people doing this. It's black people a part of it. So there is a formula. You need to set your altar up to your ancestor. You need to call them the one that's indigenous to that land in California. He keep mentioning pipeline, water line. Thank you, BT coming up. Water supplies. Something about the pipes that run underground in the underground city. They are planning this shit and got shit in them underground cities out there in LA. And here we go again, Asian keep coming up there. It's death. It's a death spirit that been releasing a certain amount of black people, certain amount of people of color. They have taken an oath to get rid of. They might act like they want to help y'all goddamn mad, but they really don't. That is what he is saying. You are in the middle of fire, war, and destruction. You are in the middle of a ritual season. Y'all, I wouldn't follow all them black peoples down there with that damn marching shit. Because people down there, click, 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 police. People taking pictures of one that's down there. Well, the storm drain system, like I said, the city water too. And the big pipes of water you drink, you cook with, and take a bath with, and oil pipes. There's something going on underground with that pipe system and that whole public water system supply. They setting them up, baby. I wouldn't have not what he told me, because these people are not calling their ancestors. And they are not consecrating. They're not spiritually cleansing. He gave me a whole California love kit for them, the ones that want it. He told me how to blend it. He said, you shouldn't even be stepping out your house and talking shit. And if you're at home, you set your altar up for your ancestors to call the ones back that were in physical bodies that loved you and helped you, and you know, were good people or spiritual people, and call the ancestors that ran California, that are indigenous to California, that were murdered. And they had their property taken from them, and for the gold rush in the land out there, they are mad. They are very angry. They are not resting in power. They are not resting in peace. They're ready to come back because they say a war is coming. A separation and a segregation is coming. Now, I'm not saying it's not for all of us. I'm included in the shit, but he sees they're trying to destroy California. They're trying to at least the people of color, the indigenous, native, Ethiopian, Eritrean, Native American, Black Indian, so-called black person, that all ain't from Africa. And the ones that coming in from there, they got connections to the United States through Native Black Indians here. They're trying to, they done already put the decree out. That's what he said. That a little bit that I want to tell you. And he said, did Satan say, when you deal with, he mentioned Conan the Barbarian, which is what Schwarzenegger played, and he was doing magic during that period. That's how he was so sick like that and did that to Tookie, because he could see. And he was one of the ones that do their bidding, and that's how he got power doing Conan, because during that period, before he did it to Tookie, he was still doing the movies, and maybe during the period, he was still doing the movies. He did Conan the Barbarian, and then what was the female side of Conan? Red Sonja. That's what Satan told me. Red Sonja, dealing with Bridget Nielsen, that married Sylvester Stallone, which will also deal with Mars and the conflict between male and female. And then Satan, so he also comes as Lucifer. There's a Star Wars going on. Says the war going on down here. The war is going on in the heavens. He said he done set it off. They done made some new agreements with ETs up there. And I saw some ET that looked at black. They looked at like they had a color to them. They had a lot of melanin in them. Well, if you're going to LA, do what I said. Just protect yourself. Don't be in them crowds. Get tied up in that shit. That's all. Well, Ginger, I told you what to do, and you'll be fine. Just don't be near that kind of shit. Don't be out in that shit. He said, so it's like, yes, PTAH, Imhotep, Leo. We're dealing with the snake constellation. We're dealing with Skynet, and we're dealing with the planet Vega, the VEGA. It's the star Vega. See, a lot of these things were not taught, and we're dealing with the serpent earth goddess, which would also be the Uranus, the serpent on top of the Egyptian crown. These are waking up. And we are dealing with when I looked for acronyms for Vega, vertebrae, genome annotation, vector elevated genetic algorithm, Vega, biotechnology, and we're dealing with Venus, with Earth's gravity assist. He mentioned food riots, fires, riots, food shortages, lynching of the physical, mental, and the legal. We're also dealing with Egyptian and Chinese astronomy and astrology. We're dealing with Nut and Geb, the Egyptian mother and father of creation. Ptah, Imhotep, Set, Osiris, and the serpent-headed goddess. We're dealing with the COVID-19, exam, and shot will affect and mutate the virus to create different strain in LA and everywhere else. Satan also mentioned the Mason Albert Pike and the Lucifer Project. He mentioned the turntable agenda, the secret Congress. He said there's an outward Congress and a president that you see. There's a secret Congress, a secret judicial committee that makes a second decision, or they make the first decision underground. Then the one you see above ground is fake. Excuse me, they pretend they want to live it out, but they don't. He said you're dealing with the scourge of the purge that's coming. They want people to eliminate themselves. You are dealing with the silence of the lambs, trimming the fat of the cow in certain regions are going to be affected more than the other. He also said we're dealing with the Ethiopian book of the Apocrypha, the book of Enoch. We are dealing with not only the fallen angels under Lucifer, we are also dealing with the seraphim, the highest ones, the archangels that rule the earth, the stars, the numbers, numerology, astronomy, astrology, and we're dealing with Satan, which deals with the knowledge, dealing with death, disease, and destruction, ill fortune, dealing with the realm of dark gods. See, I can't go into it all tonight. I just want to mention some because he wanted me to mention some of this. And come back in a couple of days because I got orders I got to feel. Yes, he said, NIPSEY, we're dealing with the Leo, the sun god, the son of God, and the sigil associated with him, the Egyptian god PTAH ritual, which is the Oscar statue, represent a corpse ritual, a body bag ritual, a lynching ritual. You mentioned Tutankhamun and the gold tomb ritual. We're dealing with, which will go back to Queen Khalifa, the PTAH statue, Oscar, Queen Khalifa, gold and red. Let's go back to Saturn again and bloodshed, war, the god of war, the planet of war, Saturn, and like I say, was it Saturn or what did I say earlier? The one is getting ready to move. Mars, getting ready to move into Aries. It's going to be some more shit. Body bag, that's a lynching ritual. Said must it be done by the Son of God season. Now June 13th, 2020. Done by the sun season and the Son of God. Time clock, the outer time clock that controls the twilight zone. We are in the matrix. We are in the twilight zone, the land of the vampire diary, the false world of linear time zones, maps, outer earth ley line. They don't move the maps. They give me a wrong map. They don't move the ley line. The earth is opening up underneath for more storm and earthquake to move through the ocean, underneath the water, the land under the water, and the cities underground that you don't know about. Inner earth ley line, they are multi-dimensional ley line. They match Mars, Saturn, Jupiter, Venus, Milky Way, and the Andromeda and Leo constellation. I think one of the Ethiopian king named his daughter Andromeda, and there's an Andromeda constellation. What did he tell me about time? I saw the sun. There is more than one sun. They showed me, Satan showed me, when you're dealing with the sun, behind the sun, the way they deal with degrees of taking people down and manipulating humans that do not know. They also deal with it with the sun, as well as dealing with the moon. But there's more than one sun. There's more than one moon. When I see the sun, they deal with it now, so they know this. They're just not going to tell you. There's a time that the sun moves by, and it's not linear. Linear time is false. You're dealing with solar time. You are dealing with quantum time and the quantum mind of God. The universe has its own frequency and vibrations and its own mind that it moves in, dealing with quantum physics, not words. Before you get a letter for a word, you first get a vibration, a frequency for a word, a letter, a number. You put them together. Okay. The first outside clock he showed me for the sun, the way he put the hands up, NIPSEY showed me the time, what it is. The small looked like it was on a 10. The larger one come down like it was almost on the 6. So he said when you are bringing the time down, that's when you're doing magic to cross something or move something out of the way. You're moving it, it is considered a negative. The time we're in now, dealing with space, time, and frequency, and dealing with astronomy, astrology, and numerology, is the time of the PTAH death ritual, the hanging ritual. You see what I'm saying? PTAH is the god of creation and life. They do the opposite and use a PTAH ritual to bring death to the golden statue, the golden god that represents the Son of God. That's what you need to counter, because this has been the same spell that we say has been done over and over and over. They need human blood, they need human organs, they need human death and disease. And for some reason, California is one of these cities. He said, I live in the desert. Las Vegas, Arizona, Mexico, like places where it's hot and it's desert. And mentioned other demons that are under him. Demonic king. One of the king came in here a couple of days ago. We talked. And I said, no, I'm talking to Satan right now. I want to talk to him. I want him to tell me what the fuck going on if he want to tell me. We've been talking. So I can't get into all of it because he told me, I looked at some more about this reading, but I just want to drop part 1. And he said I see right here, I drawed it. Destruction, when the long hand going down, that spell is dealing with destruction. Hey, Courtney, destruction and closing of accounts. So he mentioned Job. He said, God allowed me to walk back and forth. And God said, well, wrong, Satan. And he said, I'm frustrated because I'm looking for a soul to test. I can't find one. He said, I got one. Job, go fuck with him. I know he loved me so much. He will never cross me. He will never turn on me. He said, I bet you will. I take my hand off his money, his wealth, his children, everything he got going on here. He said, I bet you he won't. That's kind of what's going on right now. And if you sell yourself out and you get caught up in emotion and destruction and you don't see, thank you, Gwen, Sin City. See, Satan run Hollywood. That's what he told me. He sit on a throne in Hollywood and he said he ruled from Rome. Satan sit. He is the father of the Pope in Rome. And the Queen of England is under him. She can't move unless the Pope, let Satan tell the Pope and the Pope relay it to her. Now you can check what I'm saying now. I'm telling you, that's what Satan told me. If y'all don't know that, he said that's what it is on the low. I rule from Rome. He said California is mine. Because right now, that's the agreement that we have. I could do what I want to do. It's killing season, goddammit. He said there's an outer sun, there's a inner sun, there's a middle sun, and there's an inner one in the back. And there's more than one. You just don't know. They don't tell us nothing about that. They keep you fucked up on the ground while you looking at finding a solution on the ground. They up in the motherfucking sky. They up in the stars. And if you deal with Egyptian spirituality, African spirituality, You deal with the Dogon dealing with Sirius, they know where they peoples came from. Because they drew on the ground the constellation for Sirius, and where it was in the sky, the scientists got mad because they went and calculated it and found it just where the Dogon people said it was. These people know because they dealt with the ETs and extraterrestrial and said that's their bloodline. That is their genetic bloodline. They come from the sky and the stars, not from the ground. Although a part of them goes back to the dust. Okay. This was NIPSEY was telling me. And I ain't going to get into this tonight, but there's another reading I'm going to do. There was a very famous reading, and you know where it's from. California. There's a young woman named Matrice Richardson. I think this around 2009. She had just gotten a job with the Playboy Mansion. A black girl. And, well, issue of you are, you don't have to watch my channel. You know, I'm not going to give a fuck how you feel about my reading and what I'm saying over here. Just don't be over here. That's all. And that can fix that right there. But it doesn't matter if you believe in it or not. The biblical texts have been written. I didn't write them. I didn't make this shit up. These are the stories that are in there. And I'm repeating what I'm hearing the Spirit say to me. So just go watch another reading or reader that you like. Get the fuck away from over here. Okay. The young lady, Matrice, was a dancer. Beautiful girl. She's in her 20s. And the police are reporting that she was at a restaurant. I'm not sure who she was with. And they said all of a sudden, Matrice Richardson, you can Google this. It's a M-A-T-R-I-C-E. I think Matrice Richardson. Missing 2009, 2010. Found, I think like 2010. Someone from the restaurant called the police on her, and the police arrested her and then said they let her go later that night, and she was missing ever since. I don't think they gave her phone. It was very weird. They said they let her go at night, don't know where she went. Her mother, her father, nobody could find her. 10 or 11 months later, they found her in a park, I think a national park, buried, dead. And I said I would do that reading to look at her, and she started coming in here talking to me. So I said I'll just do this one as a hobby. I just want to do this and look at this when I have time to look at her because I liked her and she liked me. And so we started talking, she started hanging out. NIPSEY then comes in here and said he likes her. He's like, Alexis, I want you to do this for Matrice. She's lost. She's still been standing stagnant since she was physically murdered. Her life was taken. She doesn't know where to go. She wants to talk to you, and I want you to help her. So I said, okay, I'll help her, NIPSEY. And, see, they took me to a house. They took me to this wealthy man's house. And you're not going to believe this, because I have mentioned before Kurt Cobain, the singer Kurt Cobain, who they say shot himself with a shotgun. Courtney Love's husband. He's saying he didn't do it. He didn't commit suicide. He's been hanging around me a while. He came up during Kobe Bryant's murder in the helicopter. Kurt Cobain pops up when NIPSEY and Matrice Richardson are in this house of this man that they said had something to do. There's a secret group of them that kill certain people. And it's tied to the Playboy Mansion. So, and Hugh Hefner. I think Hugh Hefner was alive at that time when she had just gotten that job at the Playboy Mansion. Kurt Cobain goes in the house. I mean, he just jumps in it. And I said, okay, baby. Kurt Cobain, you want to be in this? He said, I know my way around. I said, if you want to be in it, you can be in it. Since you've been asking me for a few years to read you. I'm sorry, I've been so tired of, you gonna get in this and I'm gonna tie you in. But here's it's so creepy to me, Hollywood thing. I really don't want to get into that shit. Kurt Cobain is a good man. He's a sweet man. So he is walking through the house, and something happened with Kurt Cobain that I have never seen before. As he's walking, in this room where this wealthy man is sitting, who is very intelligent. It looks like he deals with pharmacy. He's a pharmacist, or he is very brainy. He has a lot of education, or has a PhD in pharmacology and mathematics and dealing with periodic tables, cubes, like Rubik's cubes came up, alphabet blocks, cubes, which I know will be the building blocks of life and protein and DNA. He knows a whole structure like he's literally like a medical doctor. But this guy focuses on drugs to put over somebody's nose, put their ass out within a few seconds, set their ass up. So he might see them talking to him and shit in the parking lot, all of a sudden the motherfucker missing. And come up dead and shit later on. This guy's very stealthy and smooth because this is an elite person. I don't see that low-level black people, low-level people of any race murdered Matrice Richardson. And Kurt Cobain confirmed it. This is what I saw that freaked me out. When Kurt Cobain was walking across the floor of this wealthy man's mansion, we were down like in one of his offices, the floor creaked. It was like a wooden floor, and it said, I said, Kurt, he's gonna know you're in there. But I thought he could see and like hear spiritual and perceptive, but he's not. So when I looked, I said, Kurt, the wooden floor creaked when he walked over a certain spot of the hardwood floor. And I said, wait a minute, Kurt, if you're in your astral body, you're not in your flesh body. How the fuck? I'm like, did you make the floor creak? Or was this deja vu like the black cat in the Matrix? Have you been in there before in the physical body? He says, yes. So this would be somebody in entertainment, or connected to the music and entertainment circles, Playboy circles, sexual, anything to do with sex and entertainment, drinking, dancing, drugging. These all go hand in hand. And this guy is a master at pharmacy, and it looks like this guy is also wanting to be a woman. The way the guy came off to me, he looked just like that man on Silence of the Lamb that was kidnapping women, drugging them, taking them down in that hole, down in that house, and nobody knew they was there, killing them and skinning their skin off and their hair off and shit, and making a female suit that he really want to be a damn woman. So I said, Kurt, is this the second time you've been there? Had you been there in the body? He said, yes. So it was like a replay loop. I'd never seen that before. And he's like, I'm merging with the old self and the old archived footage that never leaves. Basically what I'm saying is, if you were in a body and you went somewhere in your body, a certain house, you walked a certain path, you got your car's parked a certain place, you went to a certain restaurant, it's never erased. And then your body physically dies, but you don't die. The higher level of yourself, your soul, and your entity, you can come back here if you remember. And if you're evolved, it's like, was it Hansel and Gretel? When they put the breadcrumbs down, there is a genetic, okay, so you agree with that. Okay, Gwen. Genetic and like a computer and an astral trail that like a bloodhound tracks. Energetically and etherically, it never is destroyed. It never leaves. Everybody can't see it. Everybody can't sense it. Some people that physically die are so out of it and so in the dark. They're not evolved. They didn't come here for that. They didn't evolve while they were in the body. So they don't even know. So they're stuck. Matrice remembered and Nipsey remembered. The three of their asses down now, keeping up shit. And they told me to stay here. And so I'm staying and I'm watching, but they like feed me shit. And it Scooby-Doo. For some reason, the cartoon Scooby-Doo came up. I have to see what that means, why they showed me that. Okay. This man is an introvert, but he's a scientist and he's brilliant. And nobody can get close to this man except for in those circles, because those families are built on slavery and human sacrifice and lynching. That's how they've gotten their power. That's how they built up to this point. And then this shit really got me. Because Matrice didn't know. Matrice Richardson didn't know. But Nipsey wants to help her. So, and I also saw her lesbian lover. Because she was a lesbian. But sweet. Beautiful girl. She didn't know it. But a lesbian lover was more streetwise and in the streets. Supposed to come from Hawaii. That girl had something to do with setting Matrice Richardson up. I think she's white. Supposed to be, she looks like a white girl to me. They were together, and I really think she had something to do with this. I'll get into that later. It's quite interesting. Then I heard this old lady calling the man whose house they was in, and Kurt was like, I'll show y'all around, because Kurt knew the layout. Kurt Cobain knew the layout of the shit, and I said, Kurt, don't get caught. Be careful, Kurt, because he can't see and hear Nipsey and Matrice. But your ass just, that shit pop. He said, he can't see. So, this man can't see on that level. He don't know they there. So, they done patch me into the shit. And I'm saying, y'all motherfuckers, goddamn. So, this room, this motherfucker here, got like a dungeon. The house is a mansion. He got different rooms, different shit built on. I hear this old lady, like he said, his grandmama. I hear her calling him. He in the room with the wall. I hear the lady through the goddamn wall, and I could see the lady through the wall in a wheelchair, a rocking chair, a old wooden high back rocking chair. She's sitting there, and she got a goddamn flower dress on. And there's some shelves and some more hidden souvenirs. He got the room set up. It's a small room with a window in it with all the stuff his grandmama liked. She's sitting in there, got her hair gray. It's in a bun or pent up and shit. And she's sitting over there. I went in the goddamn room. He go see the lady. He talked to the lady. Lord have mercy. It's a mommy sitting there in the goddamn rocking chair. The lady dead. The lady is physically dead. Sitting there with her dress. He got her embalmed, dressed up. Like how he done embalm her at home and got some cotton in her stomach. Like some shit packed down in the abdomen with the organ gone, sewed up with her dress on, her favorite dress she like an old flower ass dress and some old people's shoes. Like some orthopedic shoe laced up, sitting back with the skin. Her skin is on her body, on her face. Old white lady. Sitting in there, and he keep her in there and talk to her. And don't nobody know he got her mummified. See, this is the kind of shit they do. Because these are the secrets. See, that's why you'll meet a lot of wealthy people that will not let you in and let you get close. Because they got a secret society, and a lot of them are built on human sacrifice and human abuse. And when he was little, in this family, it's like a MK Ultra family, a satanic family. And his family that he's in, they mention the company name, DuPont. The family that he's in is a satanic family where they rape and abuse him growing up. This is what a lot of them go through and put in cages like an animal. To talk to have no affection and no pity for the humans underneath them that they control and use as sheep. And randomly they have certain times of the day, the moon, the months where they will go on hunts. This what they told me. This is what I seen with Kurt Cobain in there. And with the old, they certain people you will not, they might have a grave out there, but the person, the real person, they assets, jewelry and shit is not out there in the goddamn ground. Now, I'm not saying they don't put nobody out there, but what I am telling you is some of these people have tombs in the house, in the wall, under the house, underground. They talk to their ancestors daily. The ancestors like that shit. They like having a body inside of that. They come to relax, and they can come summon theyself. When certain people in that family have certain satanic rituals, they know they're going to do certain rituals and certain murder on a certain group of people, certain organs and blood they want. That spirit will come back down, like I seen that old lady. That lady sat down in her body, and she was that body sitting there with the eye closed, and the eye opened up like an eye was blue. And I'm not sure, like I seen this motherfucker had put some eyes. Man, y'all see why I don't like to say this shit, man. And then people be talking about where you at, we missing. You think I don't like to get up here and say this shit like he had some real pretty glass eyes, blue, put in that damn lady eyesight. I could hear her talking. She was calling him. He have everything she like. Man, I'm telling you, this is how the elite live. They'll tell you don't. Now see, in the country down here where my grandmother was growing up, it was the tradition. And we know in Egypt certain families did that. They would keep that body and embalm that body and have that body specially preserved. Down here, my grandma and them used to bring the relatives in the house after they physical dead. They have the body in the coffin in the front room. You come to the house and you see the ancestor at the goddamn house, and the ancestor stay there in the house in the coffin for a certain amount of days. Then we have a lot of our people that are Native American, so-called black Indian, in the mound, and they put it in the mound and put their things in the mound the same way our Egyptian ancestors do. Because my grandmother would tell me one time, I think she had a relative close to her die, and they remember down here in Georgia, the body was sitting in the house. Then they have the funeral. That's what you're supposed to do. I wish we were back to that place where we had the choice, and then they took over this system, take your relatives in there. You don't know what's happening to them. They tell you they saw an autopsy, this happened, that happened. We don't know what's happened. You don't know if that's true or not. Everything they take out, blood and all that belong to them. It don't belong to you no more, and it's yours. The body parts, the blood, organs, everything is yours. Now you're not allowed to do that. It should go back to a place we should have the option to be with our dead, to bathe our dead, to pray over them, anoint them, do ritual with them before they are put in the ground. We should decide where they go. I understand, the health hazards right now, the dangers. Every person shouldn't do that because they don't know how to take care of the body, how to preserve it, keep it, as it's swelling, might burst and rupture. I understand that their health really needs to be embalmed. If people, you don't have anybody close to you or you should be so close to the embalmer, or after they embalm, allow the body, of course, for safety reasons, embalm, and allow the body to be close to the family. If that's what they want to do, of course, I don't mean like, unwashed and unsanitized and all that, and the body is going through decomposition and swelling, it will burst and cause a lot of problems. I'm not saying that. It should be treated first and preserved, and people should have that option to spend time with their loved one. And they took that right away from indigenous people. And having our spiritual council and our own spiritual leaders. They're saying this one leader is over all these black people, and you can't pick a leader. These people are not leaders. They're not somebody I would follow or listen to. These people are corrupt, and they've been paid off. So we don't have indigenous ones that go by indigenous spiritual law, astronomy, numerology, dealing with the laws of the land, the laws of those people, the laws of that particular spiritual group. You throw the people off, you confuse them, and dealing with economy and all of the things that a society needs to thrive and to be healthy and to survive and have their own, be self-sufficient and independent, have their own resources. That throws people off, and that causes people to be lost. I understand that, but when I saw in this wealthy man's house, they abide by the shit they tell you going to hell for. That lady is sitting there. But who is over those families are satanic males, Masonic males. And there's a body in there of a satanic male that is over the grandmother. Might be her husband, the one that's dominated. And there's a lot of satanic abuse that goes on in those families to control them and to get them full of demons. So now I'm seeing the male, and that male reminds me of the man that was on, what is the female? 'Cause I love that vampire movie. And the older man that was the vampire, the leader over the clan. And what is that movie? Celine. The white lady is a vampire, real pretty, skinny, black hair, black boots, black long jacket. You know, it was the vampire. It's the movie Underworld. Underworld in this bitch. Underworld. I love Underworld. If you look at the beginning one, you will see, and then they went into the Blood Wars. There was a older man that was over that clan of vampires. And he had a problem with Celine because she had gotten with the man outside of I don't know if he was a police or doctor or whatever. She got with him and had a child with him, and they had to hide the child. That's how this man looks that's in this mansion. He's a high-level warlock and satanic vampire that feasts on human blood and organs. That's who's in the mansion. He's even more hidden in a tomb deeper down on another level than the grandmother. So she really has no say over the male in those wealthy families. If you look at those families that run the world, DuPont is one of them. I said, are you serious? I said, so some of them are in LA. They have companies, factories, businesses, subsidiaries in LA. He said, yes. They have them in LA. And most of them people up high like that is twisted and sick. People want to get with them, or they have money, this and that. No, you don't know how they got the money. That's blood money. You don't know how they keep that money. There's a certain time, certain holidays during the year, those people have to feast. They have to go on a hunt. And they feast for certain human blood and human organs they have to have. I see this girl, Matrice Richardson, was ritualistically killed. It was part of a ritual. They were not random strangers that did this. And the police picked her up and they said, we don't know what happened to her. No. And there's still nobody been convicted in that case. No conviction, no information released. Because all this stuff is internal and eternal. These people cannot help it. They're like some of the blood descendants to Vlad the Impaler or the vampire. This is the way some of these, and you please don't get it twisted. Some of these black people got that same DNA in them. And they will cook a human and drink your blood too. Because of the genetics and demonic entity connected to the DNA. And I remember I was talking to someone that know Matree. And when I was standing here talking to her, she started doing like this. And so I looked down and did my finger like that too. I said, Matree, why you flicking your finger like this? And I'm looking at my finger. And then she did like this to turn her fingernail. So I turned my fingernail. I said, Matree, what you keep looking at your fingernail? She said, because ask them, did they look up under my fingernail? She say, your DNA up under there. And she mentioned the people who was under there. And she said, well, police up under there. And so I asked her relative, I said, did you look up on the finger? He said, no, I ain't look up on the fingernail. And then she kept doing this. I said, Matree, why you? So I did my finger. I said, why you doing your finger like this? She said, ask him, did they get my fingers? Did they get my fingers? Did they find my fingers? I said, Lord Jesus. Matree, what are you saying? That your finger was separate from your hand. Your finger was down. She said, my fingers is lost. I don't know where my finger's at. She said, my fingernail attached. But where my finger? Ask him, did he find my finger? So I asked, and I said, Matrice want to know, do you have her fingers? Did you find her finger? He said, no, I don't have them, but such and such got the fingers. And they turned them over. And he said, I said, well, what the result on the fingers? Because, you know, they know I couldn't have known that. That's not public. And he said, I don't know what the results is, but they had a finger. I said, wait a minute. Lord Jesus, are you saying to me that a finger was not on the hand? He said, I ain't gonna get into the rest of it right now. I just was saying that I was talking to her relative. And I asked about that. I said, they probably think, you know, I'm not real or full of shit or something. And then I said, she want to know. I said, let me see, can I tap into her? She want to know. She keep flicking. She was doing this. Because sometimes they don't know. Just because you get out your body, you don't know. Every spirit don't know what happened. So she knew something was off because she was doing this to me. And I said, well, I said, okay. Then I do this. I said, what did you tell me? And then she said, your fingernail? She said, then yeah. And then she went down and I said, you know, I didn't even want to talk no more. My mind was so blown by the shit. I ain't gonna get into it all. I'm gonna get into it later on. I'm trying to work on that, and because Nip asked me to do it, and to do what he's telling me about California. So if you want to ask me about the California blend, you can have the California blend. Anybody can have the California blend. You can be in any state. It's not just for them, but it's for them though. It's made for them. He said, give them the California blend and give them the instruction on the California blend. Let me also say, people that order the attraction oil is very easy to use. If you do not go deeper with me and get it activated and find out the entity over your energy and that wants to help you go deeper to manifest the attraction, you just put a little bit on your pressure points. Real simple. I would say even on the penis, try a little bit in the inner thigh of the penis before you put it actually on the shaft or under the testicles. But mix it with a cologne that you like, a oil, and you put a little there, and we'll put it on the inner thigh first to see if it burns, if it irritates. You put it on the neck, in the ears, shoulders, behind the neck, behind the knee, behind the ankles, basically pressure points. Focus on what you want to attract, who you want to attract, how you want to. I want you to visualize and set your altar up so that you work with us on a metaphysical level. Remember NIPSEY saying it's time to go to a metaphysical level, spiritual sexuality, not just screwing different people just to be doing it, because you're going to be killed. You're going to be targeted. You're going to be infected, eliminated, assassinated. Because we're in the season where they have initiated the spell. Satan has released the death spell, the PTAH spell, the lynching. Instead of PTAH bringing the life, he's doing PTAH bringing the death. He done flipped it on your ass. And you did not even know. And he's very concerned about it. He keeps showing me water. Water in the sewer system, water in the public water works, pipes underneath the ground. With natural oil, natural resources, gas, but water. A whole bunch of water and people working under the ground and controlling the ground, dealing with the city, dealing with the police, dealing with the mayor's office, dealing with city government, city water works. Unrest, fire. Like the fire came up when I did the last reading, like 2 or 3 days after I said that. A lady from Cali showed it to me. And he showed me about the tectonic plates, the earth crust, the ley lines are off. He showed me the rumbling underground. I know some people are saying the rumbling is underground because they blowing up places where hidden children are. Okay, well, there have been rumblings and sounds of explosion underground for years, and they were not saying they were releasing children 10 years ago when we had the rumbling on certain spots and shaking under the ground. I'm not saying they're not releasing them, but I don't have any proof of that at this time, and I know that's not the only reason why you're hearing the rumbling underground. Yes, there's war under there. Yes, there's military under there. Yes, there are cities under there. I'm not saying people aren't under there. But to contribute it all to children being released from caves or where they've been held, that's not the only reason I'm going to say that this is going on. I will get into more of this reading of what I was saying about people in common, because I didn't understand and I was very afraid to repeat what NIPSEY was saying. So I'm going to read some of it and then I'm going to go. What came up here, and I actually looked at cards too to verify this, was the Queen of Pentacles. That would be a Virgo, Taurus, mother of the earth sign. She, which I believe is Queen of Fool, she is involved with these men, and for some reason I keep seeing police around this lady. Police officer. I don't know, I told you that before, and I saw police investigations. I saw them running. I saw them trying to hide. I saw this started in New York. Crimes and dealing with drugs and sex and tricking people and scamming people and taking advantage of people. I said in New York. I even saw some in Atlanta, New York, and LA. And someone told me a couple of days ago, Queen of Fool was speaking in Atlanta. It looks like they're trying to establish a base or try to dominate Atlanta. Maybe move from LA or have a place in Atlanta and in LA to brainwash and trick motherfuckers down here. I saw that. There is a legal issue around her and a male, older male, like I saw before, older male, dealing with this sex trafficking, prostituting these young girls, having sex with these young girls, and Queen of Fool is bound, has been bound like a prisoner herself to a older man, and is torn and conflicted with the older man that's a goddamn police officer. Very domineering and overbearing, and right now, because he comes up as the king of swords. This man dominates her and has her torn. She looked like she is a slave to this man and have done things to cover him with these women. Having sex with, exploiting, and using women, young women, fucking and sucking. She's a part of this underground network dealing with getting high. Some type of sexual deviancy, Lord have mercy. Oh, I forgot. Let me say it now. Everything I'm saying is for entertainment purposes only. I'm a medium. I do psychic readings. I am not saying what I'm about these people that I'm saying is a fact. I am telling you, this is what I am seeing on a spiritual level. I commune with the dead. I am a medium. They come to me. They give me information. They share information with me. This is for entertainment purposes only. These are spiritual readings for entertainment purposes only. I'm just fucking around, you know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you what I see on the spiritual level. This is what I'm seeing with her. She is dealing with a police. Either she fucking a police officer or been with a goddamn police officer, and he has been doing shady shit in her organization that she has been covering. In her organization, this has been going on for a while, like she's a wife to this man, or they got some type of agreement, like a goddamn marriage, where she's been covering this man, letting this man fuck girls. This is like some kind of network where he got a sex addiction, a sex problem, sticking dick all in their mouth, fucking them in the mouth, fucking them in the ass, fucking them in the pussy. And I'm wondering if some of these union with the girl produce any children. And NIPSEY told me that shit started in New York. It is still, for some reason, it's coming up. Either this man's the police, her husband's the police, ex-husband the goddamn police. She's dealing with a police. They plotting now, she trying to cover it or took over this shit and trying to help this man get over the shit or take control, like to save this man ass. But this man is still devilish and a sexual deviant and like to fuck young girls and use them and prostitute them. This is what he enjoyed doing. And for some reason, this lady is just as devious and treacherous and deceptive as this man. She covers this man. There is still a legal issue here, and this man is still feeling a little worried, or she feeling worried. They get news around this goddamn case, or they even asking somebody about news around this case that this man was in allegedly, y'all. This is what I'm seeing. That she is helping to protect this man from this shit that he did and that is still doing with these girls. This lady is not what you think. And then the son that working with her, the bisexual, he trying to move away from this to start with a lover or start a new partnership to try to act like he not associated with this shit. But I'm telling you, the family know about this. The family allegedly is involved in the shit that I'm seeing on a spiritual level. And it's a lot of women, it's a lot of people in this, and it's someone that is also in one hand in politics and one hand in gangs, got a lot of money, got a lot of influence, that is helping to try to cover this shit and is perpetuating, is involved in having sex with these girls. I don't want to say prostitute, allegedly, but prostitution. The word prostitution is coming up to me. Not only is he doing it, the man that Queen of Four dealing with, that's a police. Either a police, I don't know if he deal with polices, this is an ex-goddamn police, or something happened to him legally where he not a police no more, but he still got police ties and a lot of police energy, and he associate with people in the legal field, and he hurt women in New York as a police or dealing with police and gang member that helped cover up this shit, because they was a part of it too. Fucking these young women's up in New York City around the Hell Kitchen and dealing with them gangs that were protecting and covering it. A lot of secrets around this lady and this policeman that she loved and was loyal to, that's pimping her and using her, and she let him fuck. How much it? Allegedly, let that man fuck the young girls. Now, y'all can do some research, because I'm saying allegedly. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm just seeing in the spirit. NIPSEY told me. She dealing with that shit. It was in New York City. And then it showed they left. But she was still with this man, riding with this police, because he had her bound in the shit, because she just as guilty in the shit as he is. In L.A., now it looks like they might be planning on another trip and coming to Atlanta, trying to establish some shit, or running, or trying to hide that goddamn shit. And there's some other women's in this. They doing magic on the low. Got other grown women, dominant women, doing magic with her, helping to cover this goddamn shit with this man. This man dirty as hell. I'm telling you now, some of these, they fucking now. The son, her son, and this man, I don't know if this man is hidden. Y'all see if y'all can tell me. Allegedly, is Queen of Four married? Is she married to a police, or is she close to a police? Because I keep seeing the gang member, the mob ties, the drug ties, the sexual deviancy. And they're passing these young girls around, fucking them, running scams with them. And I see Queen Afua is tied to, in the spiritual realm, allegedly, what I'm seeing, a police. An older man that's a police. That's a powerful police. Or that was one that got control over her. Where she will sacrifice herself for this older, very dominant, very aggressive man that's in law enforcement. But also lawyers are coming up here too. So I'm wondering, does this man have a lawyer, allegedly, that I'm seeing that's the police, that's Queen Afua covering? Or did a lawyer deal with him? Because she is dead up in the middle of the goddamn shit. Okay? They working on new plans, new projects, and bringing other people. New people have come into this to help her build, to take movement, and they're male. She's dealing with a lot of male, and she's dealing with a lot of female. Like, this is a group. Some kind of group she got, or organization that she got, where they are coming up with new ideas and moving around to different places. So I'm wondering why I see that. Like I say, I don't know if she's planning on leaving LA and establishing something here in Atlanta. She has been wounded by this. The man she with has been very wounded by this shit coming out and being exposed. But she has also got new opportunities, new engagements that she's looking forward to try to hide this or push this under the rug or push this shit behind her. But they're still infighting that people cannot see in her organization, and it's also around children. And here is legal counsel coming up again. Jealousy, fighting, competition, somebody trying to dominate the other person, and things coming out around legal issues. Lawyers, police, fighting, conflict. Lordy, I can't even finish my libation here, because as you can see, the alarms is going off here. She's in the hangman position right now. This is a heavy burden on her, heavy burden on this man. They are spying on people. They're being spied on. They are arguing with each other inside of here. And for some reason, this man that I'm seeing is still not completely out of the woods. But at the same time, what I'm saying is there is a season of these things. There's a cycle, coming to an end. My car's dropped. What they have done, what they have been doing for years, this cycle is coming to an end. With this fighting and conflict, and someone speaking out and being attacked for telling, but then there are men rushing in trying to help them fill the hole, like you're in a boat and the boat has a hole in it and you're in the middle of the ocean and it's sinking. They are trying to cover this like it's not happening, getting new people to come in and strategize and trying to fight to hold on to what they have, hold on to the reputation, but it's showing this cycle, what they've been doing in secret and playing on people and exploiting these girls. Pretending to be one thing, but you're really another. It is showing this is coming to an end. There's a quick change here with the emotional bliss and excitement where she thinks she got around this, lying, pretending to be something she's not, pretending to be something she's not. I don't know if he's hidden right now, or she's not with this man, or you think she's not with this man, but she's hiding him, covering his secrets, and still participating in what he's doing. Is showing the tower, and something is getting ready to happen in that clique and in that circle where these things look like they may come out. I know a lot of people inside of there are afraid to tell. They're afraid to tell what happened to them. But I'm telling you, something at this moment right now is shifting. There is drama, arguments, problems, and confrontation. Inside of that family, they're arguing about money, power, and it's a gang inside of that family. There are different gangs inside that. I'm talking about street gangs inside of that family. Crypt and blood that I'm seeing inside of that family. There's people warring for power, and there's a male and female at the top of it in that family, her and her husband, that police. Even if he's an ex, he still has a very strong police law. This is a law enforcement man that Queen of Foot is with, that she's been covering, dealing with this sex ring. This sex cult and this sex ring that he's involved in, and she has participated and hid this. She have a love relationship. They have a strong partnership and agreement, and she give this man money. She pimps women and give this man money. This man loved to stick his dick in young women. Him and her have an agreement and an understanding. He's not committed to her. This man is committed to himself and have an addiction. An obsession and an addiction with these women and young love, new love, allegedly, for entertainment purposes. I'm seeing this on a spiritual level. This is a spiritual read for entertainment purposes. And now she's at conflict inside of her circle with fighting, jealousy, bullying people, dominating, threatening, intimidating. It's her and some males in there for some reason, and it's another woman. These are, and what's so sad about it, a lot of these are like coming up as queens of cups, queens of pentacles, queens of wands. These are older women that are a part of this shit, and keeping these secrets quiet of them, exploiting, using, and taking advantage of these girls, getting high on some, drunk or high. This man is off the goddamn chain with this shit. Love to fuck, dick stay hard. I wonder, is this man Baba Haru? Does this man ever deal with law enforcement? God damn. Y'all hear me? The phone is going dead. Is this who this is? I believe so, because he comes up as a star and the center of attention. Somebody tell me what time it is. The star and the center of attention. That's what he comes up as. He looks like he's being worshipped by the Queen of Pentacles. She worships this man. She's in love with this man, but in a way, it's like he is dominating her because he also has dirt on her. She's just as cunning and treacherous as him. She don't care about women. She don't like women. She uses them and exploits them for this man. Play on them and turn it. She could give two fucks. If young women are being fucked, used, and exploited and abused from the past, from him, they come tell her, it goes one ear after the other. She's very cold when it comes to women, but she will do anything for this man. Okay? Allegedly, she'll do anything for this man. Will somebody put in the chat, please, what is the Eastern Standard Time right now? Because I know it's probably late, and I'm going to come back in a few days. Thank you for being here, Gwen. Anybody else feel like reading this, giving me your opinion? I'll see what the spirits tell you. I have no problem being wrong. I have no problem being corrected. I am saying this is alleged. So, I'm in a human body. I could be totally off about this. But what I'm telling you, what I'm seeing. And now it makes sense when NIPSEY was telling me this is a whole network of them. Now it makes more sense because I looked at it again. I said, she's dealing with someone in law enforcement. If this is, again, she's married to her husband's a police, or her husband was a police, and her husband knows the law. It just come to me a ring of polices in New York City. That's where it started at. And now they carrying that shit on where they go. And other ones will do it. This guy's very powerful. So if he still has some power now, look like he doesn't have as much protection. He's not in his circle. But this man's powerful, had a lot of other police that knew about him, and they were participating in this in New York. That's what Nips was trying to tell me. He said they've been out there doing that same shit.
She was trying to set that same compound kind of shit, that cult shit up out there for that man. Again, this is for entertainment purposes. This is allegedly what I am seeing in the spirit. But I'm sure if what I'm getting is correct, you all will be able to go look at her husband. Because he was dealing with another woman and she left. This man's a pervert and a deviant, allegedly. So if y'all can find out anything for me, prove me wrong or to prove me right. I'm willing to be wrong on this because Nipsey been telling me this, I got to tell. Her husband, like I say, I don't know if she's married to him still, was police dealing with law enforcement activity and sexually using, not minors, but young. She had them in an organization, bringing them in there as lambs to go to slaughter for that man, allegedly. Now, all y'all got to do is check it for me, because I don't know. Like I say, there's a reading I'm doing is showing all through that she up with this shit. She been up with this shit in the past. And there's other women's inside that cult that participated and up with this shit. And her sons up with this shit. And they know what's going on. People know what's going on. Now I'm going to read it goddamn again now. Again, this for spiritual purposes, for entertainment purposes. That's just to entertain you motherfuckers. You know, this is a spiritual read. But he told it to me. And then I just looked again at the card before I came on. This shit is saying the shit in the cards. And, you know, I've been threatened again by people associating with them. So, since they threatened to kill me again, I might as well go on and talk while I could talk and say what the fuck I want to goddamn say. I'm going to be scared of being killed and not talk. Let me get this shit out now, goddamn it. I heard it through the grapevine. So let me go on and say what the fuck I want to say while I could damn talk. Yeah? So it can be out in the fucking internet. Y'all don't know where this shit coming from. So, I see nobody put the time in the motherfucker. I know y'all heard me. I asked what time is on Eastern Standard Time, goddamn it. Now, if you don't want to tell me, I'm going to get off this motherfucker because I politely just asked you to do some simple shit. Tell me what fucking time it is. Eastern Standard Time. And I will wait to see what you find to tell me. Wait a minute, what you said, Gwen? Said that's the reason that they say in order to find the answer, look up. That's right. Keep your head like Earth, Wind, and Fire said. Keep your head to the stars. And I look at this here, and this is about money. Money and opportunity and her taking care of, hey, Jocelyn Savage. Hey, beautiful queen. I need y'all to look into it for me, yeah? Because this man kind of laying low. Yeah, they got him on call. Like Ed Gain. Thank you. But see, this is deeper than Ed Gain. Because it's also satanic in the sense of bloodline and ritual. Man, I seen them rub it on there, and the lady in the cloud, the grandmama skin smooth and shit. She don't even look like she dead. This bitch is a mummy. But she still getting her body when she want her. She needed to keep the body intact as a portal. So they got this motherfucker above ground in the goddamn wall. She has a lot of secrets here. This person is not what you think she is. Queen of Foot is not what you think she is. And neither is the man. Gwen, can you tell me what time it is? This is the last time I'm going to ask somebody to tell me what goddamn time it is. And I'm finna go. And I'll just come back when Nipsey gives me more information because I'm tired of asking y'all rude motherfuckers. Now, I know y'all goddamn hear me. I know somebody fucking hear me to tell me what the goddamn time is. Now, I'm going to tap my goddamn feet till somebody put it in here. I'm going to tap it a few more motherfucker time. And if you don't put it in here, I'm going to goddamn leave. I don't know what the fuck you want to get me up here for during damn cold virus season because you fuckers in the house. And they got shit to do and you want to jam me up all fucking night long on this motherfucker to talk about motherfuckers. That's what y'all like to do. Okay, well, since y'all not gonna tell me the time, I will talk to y'all. They sending it. Wait a minute, somebody text me and say y'all putting the time in the goddamn box. Who is fucking with my ass? Because I don't see the goddamn time. Who fucking with me? Yes, Gwen, I didn't want to say that name, man, but that's what the girl and NIPSEY and them said. That's what Kurt Cobain said. I don't see the time. Somebody, well, goddamn, the motherfucker text me the goddamn time. Why you gonna text me and say y'all putting it in the box and I can't see it, but your ass won't text me, need to put the time in the text box, goddammit. No, I can't see it. Thank you, it's 4 o'clock. Thank you so goddamn much. 4:05, that's all I fucking ask. Goddamn. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Goddamn it. And that's probably still not long, even though it's 4:05, because I came on about 2:30. But that's fine. I know, Alina, spirit of the dead. Well, no, that ain't true. A lot of black folks scared of dead people. They just are scared of dead people. It's not, so just like my granddaddy murdered 2 years, still not released her autopsy report. Yeah, said somebody that's why they took that finger. It must have been something powerful and spiritual about your grandmother, which scares me a lot. Because I'm just like, I don't want my body taken. Because I don't know. I know some of my abilities, but I don't know all of them. And people like to take certain people's bodies that have certain abilities and do things or keep pieces of them. And when that girl did that and flicked her hands, she's a gorgeous girl, sweet girl. And she started talking to me and she told me she missed her body. She's like, I knew it was her when I asked her relative. I said, she had something with swinging her hips because she started swinging her hips. She said, you got to swing your hips. And she's like, you still look young. And I said, thank you, baby. She said, come on. She said, you got to get a pole because I'm going to show you how to swing your hips again and get on the pole and keep your body limber. I said, okay, I would love to dance with you. And she started throwing her hips. And I said, oh, my God, you're so beautiful. She said, I miss my body. I wish I had my body back. She said, but can I dance with you? Can I use yours? I said, yeah, you can. So the next day, I asked her relative, I said, can I see some pictures of her when she danced? Did she like to swing her hips? And she was real sexy and seductive. They showed me the picture. I just bust out laughing. I said, she was standing with her girlfriend, with her lesbian lover. She had some high heel shoes on and this mini skirt. It was real pretty, like an old-fashioned, antique-looking mini skirt. And a little bra top. And she was leaning on one foot with the hip. I said, that's her doing the shimmy with the hip. And I told them what she told me. And they said, yeah, that's her. And and I said, you know what? I like her. I don't want to charge you for the reading. I said, because I'm so tied up with readings already and products that I can't. It would take too long. I don't want to sit. It would take hours to hear her. So I tell you what I'll do. Can I share it publicly? They said yes. I said, I'll do it as a labor of love because she's such a sweetheart. I've fallen in love with her and I will do it when I can. You said, I spoke with my cousin that's in Cali yesterday and she was telling me how water from her faucet has an aftertaste. Yeah, I saw them doing something with that water. NIPSEY said it's not safe. And there are cracks in some of the big, it's like big they look like big tunnels, but they're full of water. At certain periods, they fill up with water. He's like they're deliberately doing something with them, and the water's leaking underground. The water's not safe. Okay, but anyway, babies, I gotta go. I'm behind on everything. My phone service was out for the past 3 days. I couldn't use my phone until last night. The service was out. Metro was totally out. I had no internet, no phone service at all. I couldn't talk to anybody. I couldn't talk to clients. I couldn't fill orders. I couldn't do readings. And then the spirits have been here. Oh boy. Satan is standing there, and he went from a black image looking like a man to a green lizard-like serpent with a long ass tongue, a split tongue that came all the way over here. Satan is not finished talking. Okay. But I can't hear it all tonight. I'm going to finish this, but I got to get up tomorrow. I got to do packing and stuff. I got to ship things. I love you. I love you. I love all of y'all who believed in me, trusted me, and get the hair products, the NIPSEY Blue, 24K Gold, Caviar Mink, Body Cream, Face Cream, Night Cream, Hair, Skin, Hair Grow Oils, Hair Grow Mask with the pure herbs in it. I have the new mask that he gave me with the cow fat in it. Oh my God, this blend is so gorgeous. It's rich golden yellow oil that's mixed into the chabi herbs, the Ayurvedic Indian herbs, the cherry chocolate, shea butter cream, and other pure oils and pomegranates. It's so gorgeous. I'm putting it in my head in a couple of days because I'm peeling down with the exfoliation cream right now, so it'll sink in really good. It's such a rich oil. You don't even need that much of it. The regular herbal hair mask has a cherry chocolate buttercream, but no animal oil in it. This has the cow tallow or the cow fat. Gorgeous golden yellow, especially when you warm it. When you let it warm, it turns a beautiful golden sunshine yellow, and it's rich in a lot of nutrients, just like lard, just like pig fat is rich in nutrients, and it keeps the skin from aging. And thank you, Gwen, for supporting me. I'm glad you got your kit and you loved what was in your kit. In your beauty kit, you got some wonderful, beautiful things, and I'm glad you tried them and you like them. And I'm honored to make them. But y'all, I got to finish making everything. So I got to spend tomorrow catching up. I had to do, Nipsey's here. I had to do what he asked me to do, what the very powerful king entity Satan asked me to do on the Satan side, not on the Lucifer side. Lucifer's kind of like the Lucifer Project. You can probably like go on YouTube, type in the Lucifer Project with NASA and Lucifer. Lucifer is quite brilliant and very intelligent. Control space, technology, GMO foods, pharmacology, pharmakia, street drugs, music. He controls the stock market. One of the main kings of the stock market is King Baal. That's also controlling music. That's the one that was over R. Kelly. They control entertainment, money, stocks, currencies, bonds. Well, baby boss. Is it baby? I don't want to say it wrong. You know, I have to say for entertainment purposes only. You know, I got a lot of haters. You know, I was just told somebody called me, was very worried about me, and said that there was a death threat on me again. They wanted to send people from California to LA, or they might already be in Atlanta, who want to kill me because they don't like what I'm saying about Nipsey. They don't like what I'm saying about them. Which is not surprising because I've told y'all in readings before I had visions where they showing me this and doing spiritual attacks on me, trying to kill me on a spiritual level, and then physically have someone to come and make sure they do it. So I already know they're coming, or they're already here. That's what they want to do. So that's why I said, let me say what I have to say now. I'm not going to stop talking in fear. I'd rather talk while I'm still able to. Okay? I'm not going to sit here and be scared to say what Nipsey or any other spirit or entity tells me to say. All I'm saying is it's for entertainment purposes only. I know people don't like everybody's readings, and all I can say is if you don't like my readings, just stop watching. Stop critiquing, because I'm going to say what I believe the spirits are telling me to say, and I asked you now, like I've always asked you, to go and investigate what I am saying on a spiritual level that is alleged, because it's a possibility that what I am saying is true in the third dimension. NIPSEY spoken it to me, and now I looked at the cards and I've seen these people involved in this cult, in this sex cult, spiritual cult, black magic cult, controlling people, exploiting, using women and children, and dealing with bisexual and homosexual activities. All of this, and she is the ringleader of doing it and covering this man. And it started in New York, and had to deal with legal cases, lawsuits, allegedly around him sleeping with these young women, and then try to get away and cover that shit and go to LA. So you can find out anything, again, about the husband working in law enforcement now, or has worked in it and had issues. It shouldn't be hard to find. Tell me. Confirm what I'm saying in the seeing in the spirit, or deny. I'll correct it. I'm taking back. Until then, I'm seeing this in the spirit for entertainment purposes only. This is my reading. I'm gonna wrap up. It's late, very late. Okay. When I do my work and I calm things down in a couple of days, I'm going to try to finish this and put more together on a spiritual level. And I'm waiting for all of my supplies, because I have to be, obedient. NIPSEY told me to do the California blend for California. And like I said, I'm here and I'm using it, and anybody can use it. But he told me the exact oils and the blends that he wanted me to use. One thing I can tell you, you will get it if you like it. He told me to put in that incense the Palo Santo. The Palo Santo wood. Now, some people might just like the Palo Santo incense. So if you like the Palo Santo incense, that's fine. I ain't using that incense. I got the real goddamn tree in this bitch. And he's telling me how to make the oils. I have the oils. I have the 7-day candles. He told me how to dress them. If people want them, the spiritual bath, the herbs to put in the bath for you to boil and spray your body down before you go outside. Let it dry into the skin. The different prayers, the seals, and the ritual. He created this whole kit. And he said, tell them this is the California blend from me to them. So I already got some of the stuff here now. The charcoal resin, because some of it is a frankincense with it, and the resins, he says, needs to be very strong because you're dealing with heavy entities, demonic entities. So I should hopefully have all. I just ordered some more supplies today because it's different oils when we make this blend, and it's strong as hell. So I'm using it, and I said, let me use this tonight, and let me do what he's telling me to do tonight, because the energy is so strong. And we're still going to be in the energy of the eclipse and the new moon, not just today, but on into the week. It lasts days after it actually happens. Just now seeing this, yeah, thank you, Ginger, too, for sharing the Cash App. So I'm going to go now. I love you all. I got to get back to work. I got so much to do. And thank you for supporting me and clicking like on the pictures for my father's altar and his food, and for Nipsey's food and his altar. It's such an honor to do it. It's such a blessing to do it. I love them and honor them and respect them, and I'm glad they respect me enough to share information and teach me. Yeah, I feel my father's energy in here now in Nipsey. They must be happy with me. They must like their desserts and their food that I gave them, because I don't feel any, yeah, y'all are behind us, 1257, yeah. So I'm glad that y'all love me and support me, and a lot of spiritual people here understand what I do and why I do what I do. Okay. So I'll be talking to you all soon. Good night.